to another Friends Like Us Live. You are here with Marina Franklin, and this is
Evelyn Frick. The entire time you were singing, I was like, I'll need to sing to like keep it up, but my my voice is not warmed up.
It was good. It was good.
Thank you.
So we were talking about how your week is going and what you're doing today. You're having the best. She has the best relationship ever. Everybody.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I, we live together. We recently moved into this really lovely apartment, semi recently, and so we're having a belated housewarming little get together this evening because COVID numbers are down, so it feels good.
Are they down? I haven't checked.
Yeah, it's like been so for a while, New York City was maintaining like a 14% positivity rate, and now we're down to like 9%.
Oh, okay.
So that feels a lot
Better.
better to be under 10%. So yeah, it's exciting. We haven't really like had any sort of like parties in a long time. So this will be really fun, and it's mostly like our college friends. So it'll be really
So
nice.
I won't be invited, and neither will Juskow.
No,
But
no,
that
just
sounds
kind
like
of
a lot
not.
of fun.
Yeah. It will be fun. I think I appreciate we live in like very South Brooklyn, so I know it'll take some friends a little while to get here. So I am very appreciative of that. Yeah, I think
Someone
it'll be
yelled
really
at me
nice.
recently about how I never come to Brooklyn.
Really?
It is true when you live in Harlem, like
Oh
the
yeah.
idea of going to Brooklyn is like, oh God.
I know. It's like if yeah, for me, like the idea of like going to Manhattan is just like and like I do, semi frequently because of, there's a lot happening in Manhattan and also I like like my doctor's office is there and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like that it's like maybe a 30-minute train ride, but it's still like, oh my God.
No, it is. I used to go, believe it or not, every Wednesday for therapy,
Oh
uh,
wow.
out to Grand Army Plaza.
Oh sure. Yeah.
That's a trip from Harlem.
It is a trip. Yeah, I can imagine.
Rain, sleet, or snow,
Oh my
I was
God.
there. And for years, every
Yeah.
Wednesday. But it was part of my Wednesday. Every Wednesday was like a day for me to just take a trip out. And she was the best therapist ever.
Oh, that's great.
Of course I couldn't afford her, but she was good. She was, I took that trip out and yeah, Brooklyn.
I
South
know.
part of Brooklyn. Oof.
And yeah, it's a trek. When I actually first started working for Friends Like Us, I lived like near Grand Army Plaza, and um, at this point, you were recording at above like Stand Up New York. So
That's
I would
right.
take like the 2 or 3 like every Monday from Brooklyn to like that area, which was like it was maybe like 30-40 minutes, which it didn't really feel like a track because I did it so often, but it was fun.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like that aren't from New York. Like my sister when she came to New York, like it's a good experiment because you realize people don't live when they don't live in other places, they don't think about other places, right?
Right, yeah.
So like when she came here, she was like, "Oh, I'm going to Queens." And I was like, she's like, "What? Isn't it just it's just like a neighborhood?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no,
No.
no. No, no.
No.
Queens is like its own, like Brooklyn is its own, you
Yeah.
know, um borough,
Yeah.
and it's huge.
It's
Brooklyn is
it's so
huge.
residential. Yeah.
And
It's
in
very.
Australia, they don't know that. Like when I was in Australia, they thought Jersey was New York too.
Oh, that's so funny.
And it's like, no, New Jersey is its own.
It's very
It's
different.
got its own state, its own, it's like got its own government. I mean, not
Yeah.
necessarily, but it's got its own mayor. They have a different. Like I remember during COVID seeing their governor,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, that's right. He's not ours. Oh, that's
There's
right. Because New Jersey people come over so often, and then you're like,
Mhm.
oh, that's right. You have to, and then you talk about voting. Like I'll have them on the podcast on Friends Like
Right,
Us, and I
right.
forget they live in Jersey, so
Yeah,
their
something very
whole
different. Yeah, yeah, somewhat. I mean, that did just make me think of, our mayor, Eric Adams, who may or may not live in New Jersey. For some people, it's close enough, I guess.
he's like, oh God, I want to give him time to get better. I'm
Yeah.
trying so hard, but there's so many. You know what it is? It's like I
Mhm.
was telling someone last night. It's men.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're on here. The 16 that are here, say hello and where you're from, by the way. Don't
Mm.
just sit there watching us like you're voyeurs. Say, I should type hello. And you know what? I never give us an applause. Oh, say
Yeah.
hello. Oh, are you on there as a co-person yet or no?
No, I'm not. But it was weird, the one time that I was, it actually didn't let me see, like, the comments. It was so strange.
Really?
Yeah, and so, like, you would, like I the only time I'd see them was when you'd bring them up on the screen. Yeah, it was really interesting. I didn't say anything because I was like, "Oh, like, we're already" by the time I realized it, we were already in a flow of things, and I didn't wanna, interrupt that. But yeah, it was interesting.
It's funny, like Facebook doesn't like let you comment anymore on their thing. It's
Weird.
really weird. They make so many changes. Oh, there's Stace. Stace
Hello.
from Colorado. Yeah. It's Stace. It's Stace. It's Stace from I'm in a singing mood.
It's good. It sounded good.
So there's an uh horror movie called Men.
Is there Oh, that's right. Yeah, it came out a few months ag like, a few months ago,
I can't
I
wait
think?
to see it. I'm reserving Sunday for it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I think it's a horror, which makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah.
I just love messing with men. Hello, Tim Gray from Cincinnati, Ohio.
That's so
Not all
funny. Yeah.
men. Not all men.
I remember when I first heard of that movie, I was like, I generally am, like, okay with, like, horror movies, but I haven't seen that one, and I think it's because I remember when I heard about it, I was like, "Oh, that'll be, like, way too real for me." Like,
Yes, they
that
say
is
it's
actually very
crazy.
scary.
They say it's
Yeah.
absolutely insane. But yeah, it's something about men ever since I was a kid. When I watched men talk in
Mhm.
church, especially church
Mm.
preachers, right?
Yeah.
I was always like, why why do I gotta listen to this guy? You know, like because and not all preachers, but well, most of the ones I was listening to, I was like, I don't know about that. I'd be sitting there as a kid and I'd be like, I'm not sure about this guy.
Yeah.
And then stuff would come out. There was one preacher where it turned out he had all these women, and I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
mm.
I got that sense, that vibe.
It's just when men start having too much power or control over stuff, we've seen what happens. So
Yeah.
Mayor Adams, I don't know, it's the way he presents sometimes. He looks like someone said it. He wants to be a rock star.
Yeah. He really
And
does.
it's you can see it. You know, camera don't lie. And that's the one thing not all politicians get.
Yeah.
Some get it.
Yeah.
What the hell? Do you
What
hear
is
that?
that? Yeah, I do.
That's my life.
What is that a little, like, animal?
My neighbor
Mhm.
is running an animal farm next door.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm joking, but she runs like she kennels dogs, I think, and she's running a business in her apartment and
Oh my
she's just being
gosh.
slick with it. So that's what you hear.
Oh my gosh.
So she's back. She's been away for a while. So every now and then we get a different dog. So that's a different dog in there.
Oh,
And that's what you hear. You hear the anxiety of the dog, which I have
yeah.
to live with, which you know.
That's in I hate, like, the sound of, like, animals, like, just, like, either, like, obviously, like, in distress or just, like, barking because they're, like, anxious.
It's
It's so
it's a
sad.
painful. It's a you heard it, right?
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's such a painful sound to hear. So,
Yeah.
and I want to complain. Don't let this. Oh, hey, Eric and Haber. Don't let the sexist of us have all this power, Marina. Okay. 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 Spoken like a man. So yeah, when I was a kid, I used to watch that and then be like, something's off. Something
Yeah.
is really off. But Adam's just, if he knew how he comes across on camera, he'd probably be a little bit more dangerous, to be honest. But
Mm.
that's why Trump is kind of like dangerous because he knew how to perform in front of that camera.
Yeah, that's so true. I like when Adams like was first elected, I was like, okay, like this isn't like the candidate I would have loved. Like in terms of like the Democratic candidates because it was such a huge field. But I was like, okay, I'll give him a chance. Because I was like, I just like anything like De Blasio was just such like a goofy guy. And now I'd almost rather just have a
I
goofy
know.
mayor.
I know. Like it's sorry for the dogs, everybody. I've got a neighbor who is illegally, if you, by the way, since we got all these friends on here, if you have a suggestion as to how I can report a neighbor who is illegally running a pet, grooming service or whatever service she's providing,
Yeah.
let me know. Because
I don't
I told her,
I
I
just
said, keep it up. I'm gonna report your ass.
I just don't know why people would like if she's like kenneling them. Like, why would you want to like leave your dog just like with someone in their apartment? Like they're like actual businesses that could
Because people don't think, and they often find cheaper solutions, and she's probably offering something at a discount. And
yeah.
she's not there. That's why that sound is going on like
Mm.
that. And last night at literally 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard the dog barking.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But I was really tired, so I fell asleep.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm starting to get used to my other neighbor with her dog. Like, we're good. Like,
yeah.
I help her out with the dog that has, like, whenever she leaves, the dog barks.
Oh yeah.
But we communicate. She's all right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, she's a little cuckoo.
Sure.
But, I think all dog owners are a little cuckoo anyway because they love
Yeah,
their pets so much. But
that's true.
at the farmer's market today,
Hmm.
there was a woman with a dog that was shaved or hairless. Sorry, not
Oh my
shaved.
gosh.
A hairless dog. You ever seen that?
Okay, so I not in person, but there is. I don't know if you know the comic Spike Einbinder.
I don't.
They're like a very like Brooklyn alt comic. Their sister is Hannah Einbinder, um, and they have two rescue dogs, and one of them has like a fully. It looks kind of like a black lab, and it has like a fully normal looking head, but is like completely like naked from the neck down. And I think it might be like because like this dog was like rescued and came from like a bad situation. It might be like stress related. But so Spike just puts like the dog in like little like jumpers and sweaters and stuff. So it looks like at least like normal.
Yeah. So I do apologize everyone for the dogs. You will hear that. I apologize. Um but this dog, she told me, she said, please don't touch.
Hmm.
Like she's like, everyone touches his butt. She's like, everyone, and they don't realize they're touching his actual like his butt.
But yeah, yeah,
I was like, so you're telling me everyone's been assaulting this poor dog? Is that what you're saying? She's like, well, they don't understand. Like, there's no barrier between the dog's skin and the
yeah.
fur. So it's just, and he's really doesn't like adults. I go, really? I go, what about
Hmm.
kids? Kids must be horrible. She goes, no, he likes kids. And I was like,
That's so
that's
interesting.
different.
Yeah, I've heard of dogs who don't like men, who are skittish around like women, who don't like kids, but I've never heard of dogs who exclusively like kids.
Yes. And then I stared at the dog and I was like, hello. And then I was like, hi. And then the dog started barking. I was like, oh, you're right. She goes, yeah, see, you overstayed your welcome. Gloria.
Such a good
And
song.
Gloria. I never know the lyrics. You ever notice that about me? I like
But
come
you
in
you
and
don't need
out.
you just need the melody, which is what you
That's
you have all the time.
Thank you, Evelyn.
That's the important part.
So before we get to the man who's coming on, he's waiting for us so patiently. I want to give us an applause.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Evelyn Frick, Marina Franklin. We do this every Saturday, except for, by the way, next Saturday I'll be on the road.
Oh, that's
And the
right.
weekend after that I'll be on the road, but we'll be back. So there you go. But we do this every Saturday usually. And we do this to talk about my podcast. If you haven't signed on or if you don't know about Friends Like Us, you see this scrolling underneath us. We both have I have my tank top,
Nice.
Evelyn has her t-shirt. And this is something you can also purchase on my website. Friends Like Us merch. It's a great podcast. We have a wonderful episode coming out this week. And the one that's on currently, it has all men, which is funny because I was just bashing men. But it's a great episode with Chuck Nice and Sean Donnelly. And next week, we have a one-on-one with Memo, who's a close friend with Juskow. That's how I met him. And he's a wonderful person, which is amazing that Juskow even knows wonderful people like that. It's amazing to me that he has quality friends like that. And it's really a good episode. It's about redlining farms. It's about also Sesame Street for kids in areas that have been villages that have been, gone through like refugees, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but you have to listen to it, and you should go on Friends Like Us. It's scrolling right there, all the platforms. All right, so here we go. We're going to welcome to the show David Juskow, everybody.
You really don't remember? Was it something that he said? Are the voices in your head calling Gloria? Gloria, Gloria, you're always on the run now, Gloria. Yeah, Evelyn probably doesn't understand how great that song was.
Okay, so I understand the song. I mean, I do think of it mostly in the context of like January 6th now, because
Why?
Trump was listening to Gloria. They have like footage of him listening to it while watching footage of the insurrection.
Wait, is this new?
No, this was like a whole thing.
Wait, this is messed up. Wait, we're talking about January 6th last year, right?
I'm only saying.
Yeah. Right. So we already had the fall 2021, right? So this is weird because these guys we were tailgating with last September or October were playing that song, and they were a very confusing bunch of guys, and we didn't know where they were coming from, and they were blasting that song, and it's a little gay to play at a tailgate of a football game, even though we enjoyed it because it's a great song. But I wonder if they were trying to send a message. Or
they might be,
was it possibly known that he was listening to that by October of 2020?
I think so, yeah.
This is not new information.
No.
Why was he listening to that song? I didn't hear that before.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what was going on in the background, but yeah, they have footage of him listening to that
that's unbelievable.
Wow. I know, which is like so unfortunate because it's such a good song. It's
a true one-hit wonder. And
Gloria is here. Gloria, who is Angelo Lozada's
Rodriguez.
sister.
Is it the voices that she loves?
This is Angelo's sister
on the Marina Franklin show. Angela's sister.
Yeah. Yes. Very good friends. Angelo Lozada.
Oh, I don't know Angelo Lozada.
He's being an asshole, Gloria. Yes, you do know Angelo Lozada.
Okay.
My ex-boyfriend, Angelo.
I am sorry, I didn't.
What'd you think I said?
I thought you said Angela, like in
no, Angelo.
You know, who's the boss? Angelo
Lozada.
Angelo was a great guy.
Yes.
But he died, right? He's the one who's dead, right? Did I get it wrong? I'm confused.
You know, this is why people block you on your show. because you
He
act
is
like
not
you don't
dead.
know
I
what
was
you're
confused.
doing. And Gloria, please forgive him. He is being funny, and Gloria
I'm not
knows
being
how to take
funny.
it. But you don't just say things like that. You don't just come out and say like,
What's the
like,
oh, did I get it wrong? Is it the wrong? Do I have
I'll let Evelyn take this one. She's much more mature than I am. She can handle it without
I
the rage.
forgot. I don't remember.
It's just, don't you think that even like, regardless of whether or not he has passed, don't you think if he had, that might be sad for
And
his
insensitive.
sisters?
His
Yeah.
sister's watching.
I don't feel that way. I'm sorry. I don't get that kind of way about death. But okay. So that was the guy. But he was a really sweet guy, and I liked him a lot. But
Well, that's
I don't
good.
have those
Thank
same kind
you.
of feelings.
Thank you. Bring it back.
I was at a
Bring it
funeral
back.
on Thursday, and everybody's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "About what? I didn't know her." But even if I do
Why
know
were
somebody,
you there?
I've never had a bad time at a funeral in my life. I've never. I mean, I love funerals. I don't know why. They're always fun. It's nice to see everybody in a festive way, even though something tragic. And I'm talking about like I've been in a real bad funeral, like for actually the shirt I'm wearing now. This poor girl died. I told she was 9. I was helping her out and stuff, and it was still a nice funeral. It's like weird. I don't know. I don't have that. It just doesn't bother me that much. I mean, like I said, I liked Angelo, and of course, my favorite time with him was when you were taping your CD. Richie got so mad. Oh, that was the best. But he was such a delightful guy. So I am sorry he's gone because he was very nice, and people like that shouldn't be gone. It's always the douchebags. Do you know the Sklar brothers are still alive? I mean, what is that about? You know what I'm saying? If you know them, they're awful.
So, Gloria, this is what I was going to say to you, right?
Yeah.
Like, Angelo did open for me at the Comic Strip Live when I was doing my special, and the what was it? My manager at the time was like, he's doing too much time, and it was just funny. Look at this. D said, "Yes, Marina, kick him out."
I think that's the fastest run that Juskow has done or the shortest amount of time he's ever gotten kicked out of the stream.
I know.
It's a new record.
I could see him in the green room shaking his head. Yeah, Juskow. Yes. Of course, he's not wishing. He's just,
discussing.
You get yourself together, Juskow. While he's in the little corner room or wherever he is, I want to show this to you, Evelyn.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's so cute.
Isn't that sweet?
That is very sweet.
So this is Celine, who is usually here on the lives. And she met me this morning at the farmer's market, and she's come to the cellar a couple of times. She came last night. She was really happy about it. And she got her peaches.
That's so lovely.
Isn't that lovely? Oh my God.
She's been such a great addition.
She has. Well, she's right around the corner too.
Oh,
she had a fun. Yeah, she lives right. Well, she's staying at with someone around the corner. So I was like, you could come. Oh yeah, Gloria. I don't mess around, Gloria. He is punished. He is, but he loves Juskow. I just want you to know. I mean, he loves Angelo. But we'll bring him back in a second. So yeah, Celine went to the Comedy Cellar last night. She hung out. She met Colin Quinn, Jim Norton, Michael Che. She was just like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is the second week in a row she came.
It's amazing.
Then she came to the farmer's market, and she missed me getting in a fight. She left for just a second and came back, and I was like, this woman was such a freaking, excuse my language, cunt. And she goes, how did I miss that? I left for just 1 second.
That's so funny. What happened?
Well, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting flowers. Like, you see the flowers behind me, right?
Yeah, they look lovely.
And we'll bring the douchebag back. Don't you?
I can't believe you're having that hippie memo on too on your podcast. What's the matter with you?
And
that guy doesn't know anything about anything. He especially doesn't know about that stupid farming stuff.
We aren't even talking about that right now. We're talking about the farmer's market. You stay in line, okay? You stay in line.
His real name is Guillermo.
So this is what happened was I was getting flowers
Yeah.
and this guy goes, "Hello, Catalina." This
Hi,
guy
Catalina.
goes, "You go next." And I go, "No, no, no. I'm still figuring it out. You go." And we had a nice exchange, right? I'm
Yeah.
just standing there with flowers in my hand, and this woman rushes in front of me and she turns around and she's like, "I'm sorry, I'm next. He's working with me." And the guy who was saying to me, "You go next," and I was like, "No, you go."
Yeah.
We were having in New York City, you always have silent arguments and
Yeah.
conversations. And he just looked at her. Like you could tell he wanted to get involved and really curse her out. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to say anything. And then
Yeah.
she knew that she was wrong because
Yeah.
when someone does something wrong, they go like this. Like
Mhm.
it's almost like a silent, like, "What you gonna say? What you gonna say?" And
Yeah.
this was, this is a white woman. I know I sound black. Like she's like, "What you gonna say?" But she was like, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this could go very far with the anger that's in my body right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing, which is the new Marina.
Ooh.
It was
Like that.
very good. I was like, nope, not gonna say nothing. Yeah, I gave the Jada Pinkett look. That's right. And the guy was like, he went home to tell everybody that story about what happened. He was so
Mhm.
shocked at what she did because nobody was really in a line. There was no
Right.
rules. And she went and got something and came back while this guy was dealing with people and whatever.
Mhm.
And when she left, I looked at the guy who was behind the counter and I go, "That woman was a real cunt, wasn't she?" And he laughed. I
That's
was
so
like,
funny.
"Oh, but it was just so fun." She's like, "He was working with me, so I'm actually next." No one said a word.
No.
No one said nothing to you, but you want to fight. You could
Yeah.
tell when people want a fight.
Yeah.
When they come out their houses and they just or their homes and they just want a fight. And I said, "She wants one today. I'm not giving it."
That's good. That's important.
Because I can make her day awful.
Yeah, I love those connections
Yes, they
that
can. Yes.
happen when like someone in like around you is being really annoying or awful, and like silent connection you make with the person next to you. And this usually I'd say like happens in New York, like of just like acknowledging that the person around you is so annoying and terrible, but not having to say anything is it's quite special.
She kept looking like she thought this is supposed to get a reaction. I know.
Yeah.
And she's not giving me one. And it was so interesting to just sit there and go, nope.
That is very interesting.
But when you leave, we all know what you are. You know what you are. So there. Tamara, you missed it. And then Celine comes back and she's like, "How did I miss that? I left for 1 second to get coffee. How did I miss that?" And I go, "Yeah, you missed it." But
So
she had such a good time. She was so excited about these peaches. And then
So
she asked
good.
me this great question. She goes, "Marina, what's organic?"
That is a good question.
Do you know?
That's the thing. I've thought about this somewhat recently, actually. Like, I don't think I could say, like, I think it just means it's made without like pesticides.
Yeah.
Or, but yeah, that's like, because like everything is organic, like, unless it's, artificially made. But that's a good question.
There's nothing organic. Look at Juskow winding up. He didn't even know what a vegetable was. Okay, go ahead. What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say, bozo?
You're right. I was gonna say, Marina, what does coon mean?
Oh, you have no idea. That is hilarious.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
She asked me that question recently. She was like, "Marina, what's a coon?" I go, no, Lois. She goes, "Can I be a coon?" I go, "Okay, look." I go, "Lois." So everyone, you need to know who Lois is. She's my Irish friend, and I was talking about someone being a freaking coon because Lois invited me to a swimming pool, and it was some Italian people, and she said that the guy was all quiet, like he's a really nice guy. And I go, how old is he? Because when you're black, you gotta know how old people are when you go to their house. She said, oh, he's very quiet. He doesn't say much. He doesn't say a word. I go, really? And I said, is you sure it's okay? I'm going there. She's like, oh, Marina, it's no matter. So we get there, and we brought up a story about Vermont and how this woman turned it into a blue state. She's Lois is telling the story, which I realized she doesn't know not to bring up that story, because I know what's going to bring out is this guy, which she said was very quiet. And I was just waiting for this quiet man who was to stay quiet. And of course, he did exactly what I expected. And he goes, so I guess you guys don't like my girl, Stacy. Oh, fuck. Now I'm going to mess up the story.
The one from Atlanta?
She's Uncle Tammy. She's Stacy
Abrams?
No.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I'm blanking right now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Stacey Dash?
Not Stacy, but close.
Yeah.
Like
Stacey Dash from Clueless?
She's a Republican. She's the one that's always doing the talking points.
It is Stacey Dash. I think everyone's right.
It's not Stacey Dash. It's
not the one from Fox News.
Oh God, I can picture her face, but I can't remember what it is.
And he was like, I guess you don't like my girl. If you're on here, you know who I'm talking about. She's the one she gets paid for talking.
Oh, is it Candace Owens?
Thank you.
Yeah,
I messed up by saying Stacy, but Stacy Dash is the same.
No, I like Candace.
Thank you, Candace Owens. Thank you. You know, this can always be Jeopardy with me because I can never finish my stories. But yeah, Candace Owens. He goes, so I guess you don't like my girl, Candace Owens. And, you know, Lois, she's like, I go, oh boy. And she goes, oh. She goes, I don't, Marina, I don't really watch the news, so I don't know who Candace. I go, I'll tell you what, she's a coon. And she goes, and that's what she goes, Marina, what's a coon? I go, stop saying it. She goes, no. Can I be a coon? I go, you if you want to be a coon. She goes, it's someone who's like a sellout. She goes, they sell items. I go, oh my God, this is just getting worse and worse.
I'm with you, Mr.
That's so funny, though.
I don't know if she's fine anymore. Is she still?
She still looks amazing.
Yeah, but she's so ugly on the inside.
Maybe, but that'd be all right. She's so pretty, and she is in the movie Clueless. I mean,
oh, that's
work
right.
For me. Every time I started reading the book Emma that Clueless is based on, it's very difficult. Those Jane Austen books are very difficult to read in this day and age.
Did you get your other gift? Speaking of,
no.
It says it was delivered.
It's
Amazon. Amazon is doing something. You got to be careful buying on Amazon lately. There's people who sell products that don't get to you on Amazon lately. You didn't get it?
I don't think so, but it's possible it's downstairs. The doormen haven't. They've been, a lot of them are on vacation, so some of them have not. They don't know who I am, and they don't stop me and tell me there's something at the door. I'll go downstairs after this and find out if it's something there.
Mister, this is so foul.
Actually, on tomorrow I'll know the guy. I'm sorry.
I almost didn't address it or put it up, but you, Mister, like, wow,
that is a lot. Yeah.
She's so pretty.
Like even D's like, darn, bruh. Damn, bruh. So, hey.
But she's maintained her hotness. Her and Alicia Silverstone both look really good.
But she is a screw loose.
I think they're like way over 40 now,
But she's like a pundit now, right? Like she's on Fox News and stuff.
Yeah, and a strange twist on Fox News, but I believe she's crazy too, which of course makes her even hotter. Now I gotta see what she looks like now. I mean,
you want to see? There's a term for that sort of thing: lusting after. Thank you, Venus. Lusting after nutty.
She looks amazing.
Cretins.
And she's still
I'm
really
with you.
pretty. Wow.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh, I'm loving it. Yeah, he put the laughing emoji. So I guess no, it's never gonna be okay.
Oh, Mr. Noy says Fox dropped her.
Really?
That's how crazy you have to be, right? If Fox drops you, that means you're really insane.
Yeah,
right?
What if Fox
To
drops?
get dropped by Fox.
A lot of these networks are dropping people. There's going to be a huge firing going on.
I just
on
heard
these
about
networks.
some guy on CNN. That everybody
Yeah, that
liked.
guy
Yeah.
who had his own show, and he was very like opinionated. So CNN is trying to get away from opinionated news because that's what they're known for.
Well, I'm pretty upset about. I'm still mad about Chris Cuomo being fired. I don't think that was something they should have done. Chris Cuomo.
Yeah, I know. You can't. That's a huge breach of journalistic integrity to be reporting the news on your brother and be secretly helping him.
I disagree.
You can disagree, but you're wrong.
But you're wrong.
I think you're helping. I mean, it's they're brothers. I mean, what are you going to do?
Right, but then he should have stepped away. Like he should have taken a break.
Well, they should have suspended him.
You're wrong.
I like him.
It's illegal. You should know this, Juskow. Don't you deal with the law?
I do.
What the lawman say?
That's a journalistic law. That's different.
Oh,
and
that's
it's just
fine.
it's not set.
What kind of law do you do? How do I get my toilet fixed? I'm the law. I am the lawyer of toilets. And anyway, she's Damon Dash's cousin. Really?
Who's Damon Dash?
I didn't know that. You know what? I can't even go into who he is because I will give the wrong answer. But he ain't for you. And it is weird that he's Damon Dash. I didn't know that.
I saw that brief.
Now, Mister, you're like he's on a tangent of inappropriateness. I would hate to have a cousin that fine. That's weird. Yeah, I would lock her. I would not have you around my family at this point, Mister.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yes.
Is that hot?
You can disagree, but you're wrong indeed.
I don't feel I am.
I talked to someone recently who blocked you.
Who blocked me?
Yes.
Oh, Sanchez, the girl?
Mm-hmm.
So you found out why?
She says she don't like the fact that you say a lot of incorrect information.
Oh. What is that information? Perhaps
I don't know what you said. I'm sure I'm sure it's something, but I don't know specifically what you did in that hour.
She was in on for a long time and 6 months.
And now she was on your page and you brought her to my page, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she out.
Yeah, I understand. I just wonder what it is that I said.
I asked her if she was okay and she's fine. And she said, I just don't want to be listening to things that aren't true.
Well, what is that?
I don't know.
Well, how am I supposed to figure out how to change it if I don't know what it is?
I think you have to look within.
I could never, for the life of me, I've been saying the same stuff for however long she's been listening, for 6 months, and I didn't know I said anything incorrect.
Maybe it came out as you came out. Get it? Into the world?
I guess.
Juskow, you've become Juskow again. With your haircut and your fancy t-shirts.
Well, I don't know what to say. Some of my friends dropped my podcast too because they were mad what I said about them on the show too.
Oh, look, you ran Jenny away.
I did.
Yeah, everyone's missing her.
I know. I miss her too. I mean, it would have been cool if she had said, I got a problem with what you said, and then we could have talked about it.
Ooh.
That's what I do on this show,
Dhabi,
right?
the UAE. Oh. Hello, Nina. Hello. You know what? I'm hoping to do a show there. Do you think they would receive me okay? And you could be completely honest. I'm always wondering, like, how women do in stand-up in the UAE. That's what I don't know if that's... I'm just curious. I have a friend who's moving to the UAE. You know, Zawadi Morris, who's been on the podcast several times.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
for a couple of months because her husband has a job there.
Wow. That's so interesting. I've never been to the UAE, but
Is
it
that where
looks. I mean, Abu Dhabi looks
Dubai
amazing.
is?
Yeah.
Is that the same place?
Yeah, it's in the UAE.
I don't know, Evelyn. Are you allowed to go over there as a Hebrew?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, just be careful. They do get upset about that kind of stuff. They check.
Greg Rogel's done shows over there.
He has?
Yeah, he's killed.
I got an old girlfriend who lives
literally,
there now.
but
She always tells me to come. And it's nice and clean. It looks nice over there.
You had a girlfriend?
Yeah. She sends me pictures from Dubai all the time.
And she still talks to you? This is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I told you the person she dated before me was Leonardo DiCaprio.
What?
Remember I told you that before she met me.
Oh yeah, you did tell me this story.
A month before she met me, yeah. Because she's French.
She went from Leonardo DiCaprio to Dave
Juskow.
Yep.
And then she moved to the UAE.
I was just as surprised as you were. I just found that information out 3 months ago. And this happened, years ago.
How does that happen?
I don't know. She's obviously an idiot.
Wow.
An idiot, but it just sounds like she was maybe going through something.
Yeah, probably got some daddy issues.
Oh, Lord. What were you going to talk about today? What's in the news?
Well, I was interested that you brought up that you're most in the upcoming episode of Friends Like Us, you talked a little bit about Sesame Street because I saw on Twitter, apparently HBO Max has dropped 200 episodes of they no longer have 200 episodes of Sesame Street on there.
What? They got rid of Sesame Street?
Just I mean, not all of it, but certain episodes, which it doesn't mean that hopefully Sesame Street will find another distributor for their episodes, but they're just not on HBO Max anymore.
That's weird. I wonder what happened. I guess
it's the same thing with Batgirl.
Yeah, it's a part of it.
It's a part of this change. This new guy who's taking over and cleaning house, and it's interesting what he's cleaning out.
Yeah, exactly. That. It's kind of programming at Sesame Street is so important. And I remember when Sesame Street started being distributed by HBO, at first I was oh, that seems kind of antithetical to what they're all about because they're supposed to be accessible, and that puts Sesame Street behind a paywall. And now HBO Max isn't even valuing that content. So yeah, it's sad.
When they make cutbacks, what they cut back, that should be a book title.
Yeah.
When they make cutbacks, what they cut back. And it's always because they, what Memo does with Sesame Street with any directs and stuff is, like I said, with children who are going through, refugees.
Yeah.
And one of the videos that I saw that he did was really great where they're saying their names and how important it is to get the names and the sounding of it correct.
Yeah.
And, obviously on the show, I always get names wrong on the podcast, but it is important. So it's it's just such a great thing that he's doing, also talking about how he's part of an organization that got rid of Amazon in Queens.
Oh, that's so cool. That's really important.
Because, and it's funny, I didn't really understand the importance of why they were fighting that so hard. And he really breaks it down on Friends Like Us.
Awesome.
I just looked, I haven't looked at the comments, and I just looked over and it says, you mean the guy who played on a pimp on All My Children? Who played it? What is going on?
Yeah, what is going on in the comments? Oh, they're talking about, so it was because of Sesame Street. Mr. Mister said, did they cut all the episodes of the guy that was a pimp in the 70s?
I'll tell you, I learned a lot from watching TV, when I was a kid. I learned, I used to always want them to see my name in Romper Room
Oh
I
yeah.
see. I see. So that's sort of like that, episode that Memo directs is where they say, someone's name that you don't commonly hear. They never said Marina ever.
No, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure not. Oh yeah, Mr. Mister. I also loved reading Rainbow as a little kid. I loved LeVar Burton so much. Just such a good show.
Oh God, he should be on Jeopardy too. I don't
He
understand that.
should. No, I don't either. I don't. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because, like, I don't know. I do love Jeopardy. I don't find either of the two like current hosts to be like that like interesting. I don't
No,
know.
they're
I
not
think
in, they're horrible. I mean, I like Ken better than Maya Bialik. She's just not working for me at all.
I think
Sh-
LeVar would do a really good job.
Who?
LeVar Burton.
Why did he host once?
He did
N-
like a guest host once, and I
when
thought
they
it
were
was really fun.
auditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be. This was an actor is probably better anyway. I guess Maya Bialik's an actor, but I just don't. It's not. It's just, there's something stiff about her that I don't like.
Yeah.
There's also, remember when the guy tried to put himself in the position?
That was
Yeah, the
crazy.
producer. That was
I
hilarious.
know. And
I'll
then
do it.
Yeah.
and like no one wanted it.
No. I don't know who. Yeah.
Mike Richards.
I
think
want.
is his name.
I like the Green Bay Packers quarterback. He was my favorite host. Aaron Rodgers.
He hosted?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I know. It's so weird, but it's so cool.
What else is in the news this week? So we have an ex-president who's about to get arrested, right?
Oh yeah, they are fairly close to that, I think.
For real?
I think so.
They're actually gonna do it? I think it's a mistake.
Well, I saw like one of like Trump. Well, first of all, Trump is having trouble getting lawyers to represent him, which indicates that this is like not a winning case. But then like one of the lawyers that he does have, I remember like seeing in an interview, she was like, yeah, we're just telling him that like if he says that he won't run in 2024, then all of this will go away, which also doesn't sound like a winning strategy. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Did I lose you guys? Am I here?
No.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Anyone who works for Trump is going down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean they've like had people who were really really close to him testify. So seems like it'll be coming any day now. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is. He does. He is. D. He don't like it the fact that Jenny's gone.
Well, that did upset me for a while because I liked her. We used to talk a lot. We used to talk a lot. Off the air and chat all the time. So yeah, I felt like I missed a friend. It's sad.
Da, 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 da. Look at Juskow does not know what to do with himself. He is. It's okay, Juskow. Don't cry.
It
We'll be
bothers
here.
me.
We'll be here for you.
you'll get
For
more
all
listeners.
of your racist rants. We'll be here for it.
Mhm.
Can I tell you the story about the kid who made $1 million off of Bed Bath Beyond this week on the
What?
stock market?
Oh
Because
yeah.
I paid
I heard about
so
that.
close attention to it. He put 25 million in. You have to have money to make money,
Right.
right? So, or 20, yeah, I may be getting the numbers wrong. Sorry. But I know he put in a lot
Yeah.
when it was very low, and then he pulled out right at the nick of time.
Interesting.
Yeah, because that was one of those stocks that was up there with GameStop and AMC, and it all worked out for him.
It's like, but you do have to put, it's funny. I always say these things that are so obvious. I was like, oh, you got to buy a lot of shares to make, I didn't realize that. I thought you could just buy like a share and just be all good with making the money.
Well, it's like I really don't know that much about the stock market. And I think for people like me, it's just like no one ever like taught me anything about it. So it makes sense that like when you don't know about the stock market, you don't know, you know.
Yeah.
But so that was this week that someone made like a crazy. Oh my gosh.
And the stock market is bouncing all over the place. I mean, I've been looking away this week. This week was not a great. It was good for some people.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to learn what to invest in. So I've got like 2 mutual funds that it is not gambling unless you know what it's gambling. Oh, look, there's nobody watching all of a sudden. Or is that my ticker? That's not true. There's people watching. Yeah. It says 0 people watching. That can't be true.
No, that's
there's
not
a
true.
couple of people on here. Yeah, like wait, what was I saying?
It's not gambling.
It's not gambling if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you know what you're doing, it's not gambling. It's gambling if you just invest in a stock just because you like it. That's that's gambling. But if you know what you're doing and if you know math and you know how to be conservative in the stock market, it's not gambling.
Yeah. I am interested to see how, because like Biden just signed the Inflation Reduction Act. So I am kind of interested to see if like that will affect like the stock market at all. And also like how long it would take.
It's not gambling. It's investment. You know what's funny? I ask all of you who say it's gambling how much time you spend each week learning about the stock market. That's my question to you. How much do you know about the stock market? Those of you who are saying it's gambling, have you informed yourself about the stock market? And maybe you have. But I noticed a lot of people who say that to me, they don't, you know, my uncles made millions doing it. So I learned from the people who know what they're doing, who don't make, who don't make like, you know, risky moves or, you know, whatever.
Yeah. It sounds like you should have your uncle on the podcast to talk about the stock market.
You know what? That's a good idea, Evelyn. I should. Because I've had him on the podcast to talk about like COVID and all of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, the booster, the other one's coming out. Are you going to get that?
Oh, yeah.
The Omicron one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought we were done with that.
What?
Omicron or whatever it's called.
Omicron.
What's it called?
No, that's like what all the variants are now. They're just like sub-variants of Omicron.
Joe Biden's wife, she's got it. She got COVID. People still getting COVID. And they get it bad. My friend got it really bad. She was like, she called me crying. She was so sick.
Really? Who?
ISIS.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She was really, really sick. Here's the thing. Someone asked me that recently on the show. Like, they know how careful I am. And they're like, Zawadi asked me that. She's like, I know how careful you are. So at what point do you think you'll be taking off the mask and feeling and this is how she phrased it, since they're treating it basically like it's the flu, when are you going to feel comfortable? And I was like, well, I don't think of it still as the flu because I know people have gotten sick and it won't sound like the flu when they call me. I said, but I also like to work. So for me, getting back to work means not being sick. So I like to make money. And in the comedy game, 1 week out could be that week that you make your money for a couple of months.
Right. Yeah.
So like the gig that I have coming up this weekend, let's say I get sick and I have to cancel. That's like a lot of money I'll be missing out on. So I wear my mask just to be safe. And I also want to wait for that booster that's coming out. That's for the variant.
Yeah. It's important.
Along with the fact that I still don't think they understand the long haul part of this. And I just,
no, or if they do understand, they're seriously downplaying it. Because I know the CDC guidelines for things now are just a joke, basically.
Yeah. So I just tried it. The CDC this week goes, yeah, we don't know what we're doing. That's what they said this week. They were like,
Yeah, that woman said it. The head of the CDC said that.
Rochelle Walensky.
She's like, yeah, so you know what? Everyone just go fuck off. I mean, that's basically what she said. It's like she threw in the towel on that one. She was like, whatever. I'm going to tell you guys something that's very disgusting, and I'm going to share it with you because I wish I hadn't seen it. So there.
Yeah.
Monkeypox, right? Now, I don't know if this guy had monkeypox in the middle of the street that was naked, but this week I decided to have a nice day, have a good walk, right?
Yeah.
And this guy just right down in the village, 6 foot white guy, maybe 6'3", butt naked, leans over and spreads his butt cheeks.
Oh, God.
And starts digging in his ass.
Ew.
I was like, I just wanted a nice walk. I just wanted to enjoy the weather.
Oh my God.
Just someone said, Marina, go and take a nice walk and enjoy the weather. And that's New York.
Oh my God. That's traumatizing.
Yeah, I am still traumatized by it. And he looked like he had monkeypox because he was like trying to figure. I was like, I don't want. Why am I in the way? And here's the thing: the police were on that street, on every corner, but where he was. And I don't know. That always happens to me where I'm like, I'll pass cops, and then I'll be like, but right here.
Yeah.
Where are you? They managed to never be where they need to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that definitely has happened to me too. Part of me is like, at some point, like, is that intentional? Like, they probably don't want to deal with that either.
Yeah, that's what Dee is saying. Dee is like, ew, police are thinking that as well. Oh, Mr. is talking. Okay, the trick is to put the bulk of your money into index funds linked to the S&P. The rest, you should do your research. Okay, all right. That's not such a bad suggestion. But I just do mutual funds. Mutual funds diversify your portfolio. And I looked, AAII is for investors and they do ratings. So they rate mutual funds. So you can find out, you get the ratings of those mutual funds from AAII because it's a very reliable source. And then, do your homework. A lot of people don't get what's called the fundamentals on a company. So you know how much money they have, know how much liquidity they have, how much revenue, what loss. Do your homework. People don't want to do the homework. That's as simple as that. They go, ooh, GameStop. Oh my God, Bitcoin. You missing Bitcoin?
Or I think they also...
Do you have any investments?
No, I should. I definitely I definitely know that I should have a portfolio. I want to do the work of like reading up and learning about it before I start investing. Because I agree. I think a lot of people don't really know enough about it and try to get into it and then lose a lot of money. And I do not want to do that. So
read up on the horse you're betting on. Don't talk about Juskow like that. Come on now. Oh my God. I'm so upset that you didn't get that other gift, Juskow. That was a pretty penny.
Well,
I'm so intrigued as to what it is.
Maybe it's downstairs.
Oh no, he's working. Don't do it, Dee. Dee's like, they want you to talk, Juskow, which is amazing.
You guys don't want me to talk, so
I know. Which one is it?
I'm not going to lie to you. That Jenny Sanchez thing is bothering me. It is bothering me.
You shouldn't want one person.
But sometimes you make friends with these people, like those girls we hung out with that night, Marina, Stace and everything, right? And then so you make a connection, and then then somebody. I mean, if Stace didn't talk to me anymore, I'd be upset by that too.
Someone said throw a scote at him. Here's your fucking scoot. It's so funny. I was trying to explain last night to some girls who were hanging out. Oh, Celine and Alana. I gotta say her name right. It's spelled like Elena.
Oh yeah.
But you have to say it like Atlanta, but Atlanta,
It's
which
so
is
annoying.
it is the hardest name. Every time I say it in my head, I have to go Atlanta, 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 Atlanta. That's her name. So I try to get it right, but it's very hard. So I was trying to explain Lois. I go, she's one of those really funny people. She likes to help. But when she's helping, she gets very angry about it.
Yeah.
You know.
And she's not honest about how she feels, which is bad too. You're talking about Lois, right?
Well, she's honest about it. Well, she'll
Not angry about how if she doesn't want to do something.
She doesn't want to
she's
do
not
something.
honest.
Yeah, because she wants to do it, but she won't tell you that she doesn't. Yeah, so then she gets really upset.
Yeah.
So whenever someone gets in the car and we're going somewhere, because I know she always gets lost, and they start talking, I go, no, remember you got in the car, Juskow? I said,
Yep. You told me not. Yeah, because she's got to concentrate, but she doesn't realize she needs to concentrate. She's not a great driver.
So she'll start going. She goes, oh, I'm just gonna. I go, no. She goes, Marina, what music do you want to listen to? Nope.
Yeah, you shouldn't be listening to any music.
No,
that car should be
music.
In silence.
And then she's very like, I'll give her good news. There's been a couple of them this week where I'll give her good news and then she'll tell me someone just died.
Well, of course, that's the best part about her.
Oh, thanks for that. Thanks for that, Mr. Mister. I didn't know that. I'll look that up this week. Very cool.
That was good.
Very cool. All right. So I think this would be a good time since we have a moment to go into our reviews of the Friends Like Us podcast, which is why you're here today. I don't know why it says that no one is watching.
That's so people are clearly watching.
Yeah.
So do you see that?
Because you're watching on Facebook, they're all on YouTube. You can see their things. That could have something to do with it.
Maybe it didn't grab the Facebook? Is that possible? No, there's someone
here
on Facebook.
Gina was watching.
Okay.
Right? Or no, not Gina, sorry, Gloria.
We haven't seen from her for a while.
Yeah.
This is strange.
One of my friends told me Facebook kept shoving her out, so maybe there is some sort of Facebook issue.
Meta.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were.
They don't like sharing.
No, they don't. Yep.
All right. Review and a preview reviews.
Yeah. So these are reviews. Thank you. From Apple Podcasts, which just a reminder to leave a review of Friends Like Us on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, please. It helps other potential listeners find the podcast. So this one, I actually decided to grab this review from, I believe it's from a man because there were 2 men on the podcast this week. 5 stars from Just Jay. He says, my sister recommended this to me and I'm so grateful. I'm loving every episode and I'm a better man for it. With Friends Like Us, some of us guys get it.
Whoa.
So great review. Yeah. And then the second one, 5 stars, simply marvelous. From the Only Marco, he says, one of the best podcasts. You can have a laugh and learn real insight into issues that matter. So those are 2 great reviews from this week.
That's awesome. Yeah, we talked a lot about Batgirl.
Yeah.
And what HBO is doing and that cleanup and how we had you can now go backstage as a viewer.
Right.
That's so if you listen to Friends Like Us and you wanted to watch us live on the actual podcast, a lot of you think this is the podcast. This is to promote the podcast of Friends Like Us, which is, I mean, Dave Juskow is, he's a friend. And Evelyn, they're my friends, but the podcast Friends Like Us really features, women of color. And then once a month we'll have guys. We had 2 guys, so it was a heavy flow. And
once a month they'll have a Mexican.
And a person of color. Well, no, the person of color is all the time. But once a month we'll have someone white. We've had Irene on. But like what's happening is all the women are on vacation. All of my sisters are on vacation. So it's been difficult.
Oh, I'm sure.
The
Yeah.
booking has been tough. Also, they're all working, which is great, but
It is good.
I just been having a difficult time.
Oh, yeah. That's
But
interesting.
we have a really great guest tomorrow that talks about, oh, you guys know, from the farmers market, the soap lady.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
you have
exciting.
her on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
she's gonna
exciting.
come on and talk about the different types of soaps and what their uses and all those essential oils and all
Sounds so
those
stupid,
ways.
but I know it'll be great. But it sounds stupid when you say it, like it just sounds silly.
Oh, when it rained?
No, it just but all different kinds of soaps and how they're used. I mean, it just sounds funny, but it'll actually be interesting.
It sounds really interesting.
The soap Nazi, Mr. Mister says. Look, so Mr. Mister says, so for 2 years, this is great. See, and I knew this. For 2 years, I have mistakenly thought this was the podcast. Have we been doing this for 2 years?
Have we? That would be crazy if maybe we have.
Oh my God. We need to do an anniversary show.
Yeah.
I'm bad at that stuff. But no, Mr. Mister, this is just to promote the actual podcast, which is very heavily contented in topical stuff, hot topics. We talked about did you just stifle a yawn, Evelyn? I think I saw it.
I just haven't had any coffee today.
Try to get away with it, Evelyn. I've tried to get away with it too. She calls you on it every time. It's fascinating.
I saw you go.
No, it's purely because I haven't had any coffee today.
Is.
No, it's okay. We talk about how there is racism in artificial intelligence in AI. There is because the people who create the data and the technology are not of color.
Right.
And they're still not in the room. So there is some biases, and I'm not saying the right word, but so like when they ask for a black man, they ask the computer for a black man. They do Dave Juskow's impression of a black man.
Right.
Hey, my name's Marina. What's happening?
See, but even worse, because then they go, "I'm gonna get some fried chicken." The computer comes back with, "I'm gonna get some fried chicken."
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's like there is because we're moving towards that. So we do have to worry ourselves about that in the future. It's crazy. I mean, I do. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if there'll be anti-Semitic robots.
Sure there will be.
I'm sure there will be.
They have them now.
I mean,
just robot here at the house is anti-Semitic.
Just generally, I don't trust AI. I think it's a bad idea based on any sort of like science fiction, like books or movies that have ever existed. So it doesn't surprise me that biases are built into that already.
Algorithms of oppression: How Search Engines Reinforce Racism is the book by, is it Sophia Noble?
Really
interesting.
She's good. She's good.
Racist algorithms. It's more A than I. Oh, well, look at you, Venus boy. Okay. Yes. So we talked about that, and then we also talked about Chuck Nice was on the show, so he does a lot of game shows, and it's really interesting. He did say something that I think annoyed someone. He was talking about how he liked the way I perform on stage because I don't do a black affectation, which I was like, okay. So it was a little trick. I always get the Zaynab review. Zaynab always goes, he almost lost me there. And I was like, well, people talk freely on the show. They say things, and sometimes they can't backtrack because it's a podcast.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. But, people are just talking.
Yeah.
By the way, that movie that I recommended that you guys should all watch, RRR. Did I say that last week?
Oh, I don't think so.
It's on Netflix. RRR, triple R's, and it's an Indian like adventure movie. There's dancing. I loved it.
That sounds
Zainab
really good.
hated it. And I brought it up on the podcast and she was like, Marina, this is awful. And I was like, it was so entertaining because it's Bollywood.
I love
like
Bollywood.
they do stunts. There's no stunts. There's just computer animated, like a guy fighting a tiger, but there's no way he could have got. So, but they go there with the computer generated stunts, whatever they do, and I suspend my belief, and I had a good time. And there's some dancing all of a sudden.
Bollywood dancing is always so good in the films.
And it's really fast. And there's no way that these two guys could dance like this, but you're watching it. So it's like, how do I put this? It's bad, but great.
Ooh, I love movies like that. That are like, they're like so bad that they come around to being good again, or just like equally bad and good elements.
I love that shit. Juskow, what are you doing?
Thinking.
We see it. We could all see you thinking.
I'm depressed.
What you thinking? Why are you depressed? Why are you depressed? Let's make him the main.
He's never been in this position before.
Funny, besides the, I don't know, I just feel like I'm wasting my time. Not
with
here,
what?
but
okay.
In general. You know how you get into those moods where you feel like just nothing you do is making a difference or working, or, I think it's this job. I just don't really see people anymore and getting upset. It's like very easy and it's okay and it's easy to do and everything, but it's like I don't know. I feel like I'm missing out somehow. Fear of missing out is the worst thing that for me.
Yeah. Maybe you should think about finding a job that challenges you.
I guess. But no, that wouldn't be helpful for me. I just need a job that makes money, which this is, which is good. But I'd like to do, you just go through phases where you get to do fun stuff or challenging things, and then you don't. And it's just periods of time where you feel bad. And so, like, I guess, I mean, it's not just the Jenny thing. I just feel like I'm losing everybody. Today I was just thinking maybe I'll end my podcast. It's just not working, and it's nothing to do with Jenny.
Is there no one watching it?
I don't know. I'm just in that mood, where you do it. I've been doing it for 8 years. No one cares. I make very little money on it, or if any. And I don't know. A lot of people have been leaving, and then I always get, like you said, Marina. I always get some people that come in, But I take it completely personally when people leave, and it's not just Jenny. It's like these other people too, and I take it completely personally because I'm putting my whole life out there, like I guess you do on your podcast is different. It's all issues.
No, I put myself out there, and you know what? I will say, it is hard to put energy into something. Like I will say, like the Friends Like Us podcast. When I started it, there were no. I wouldn't say there were no women of color podcasts, but I was definitely one of the only ones that was doing it featuring women of color, Black women specifically, that were comedians. And we were very successful, and we still are. But years later, when podcasts became everyone's got a podcast, and networks figured out, we could just put a star and have them do a podcast. People jumped from my podcast to their podcast, and the importance of my grassrooted podcast started to lose numbers. That hurts because you're putting your heart and your soul into something, and you're not sure if anyone's really appreciating it. But I will say this, I appreciate it, and it feeds me every week. And like every week I get something out of it. Every Saturday I do this, even with you, Juskow. I get something out of it. There's engagement that's going on here. There's a relationship, whether it be good or bad or whatever. There's a relationship that's happening here, and we're learning. We learn from each other. And so that's something.
That's something. And I think, like, Marina, your point of like creating content like for you is like so important. Like, yeah, it's cool if like content gets like an audience, but I don't think there's anything wrong with like doing a podcast or, writing something, what have you, and it just being for yourself. I think that's actually really special and really cool.
Yes, Chuck Nice is on Neil. Yeah, Juskow, they said you need a puppet on your show.
Well, they know I love having puppets on my show. Usually Memo is the puppet on the show. Memo has my puppet that he does the voices.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
cool.
for years we've been doing puppet stuff together, and then it's so weird that he got a job on Sesame Street. It made so much sense.
Yeah. I mean,
Did I tell you about his daughter last week? Did I tell you the card that she sent me, which was like the best? She is his daughter. He does some good parenting skills. This kid, his daughter, she's like 12. She's amazing, and she's been amazing since she's been 4. And I hate my friend Lee's kids. They're awful. And Memo's kid is really terrific. She's very bright, but she's very cool. And to write a card like she gave me for my birthday for 12-year-old is ridiculously unbelievable.
Oh,
it really is a good show of parenting because I've seen the other parents and I've seen their kids and they're awful. And I'm not having any kids, judging parenting is what I do. And when I see good kids, it definitely reflects on the parents. It's the fact.
Well, Evelyn's a good kid.
Yeah, Evelyn is a good kid. But
I always think of my assistants and my interns. They're like my kids.
Well, I suppose there is something to that. But it's like, I mean, it's possible that Lee's kids might turn out okay, when they're 20, when they're Evelyn's age. But right now, they just suck, and they've sucked for years. Or at least the oldest one. The youngest one's okay. They know how I feel about them. Maybe that's why they dropped off the podcast. I don't know.
That's so funny.
He always says, "Stop calling my daughter a cunt," and I'm like, Jesus, you're so adamant about that.
How old is she?
11.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the thing is for me, and there's a girl in the building too who, we've gotten along and then we don't get along. The age makes no difference to me. If you are an asshole, if we don't get along, we don't get along. I don't care if you're 3 or 5. I didn't get along with this girl in the building that we had.
He was like, I'm going to leave. And then he was like, oh my God.
And then we had a good time. And then, then we go back and forth. Now she's just snobby. And she heard her call me snobby on the podcast. Now she doesn't talk to me. She's in college. And then there's these other kids in the building, on the 7th floor that we weren't talking for a while. And now we're okay again.
Oh, look at what Marcy is.
Thank you, Marcy.
This is a perfect way to get out. Thank you for giving it to me.
And Marcy gave me a wonderful gift for my birthday and a really, really nice card. Thank you, Marcy. That means a lot to me. It does.
It was better than mine?
Yeah. By a lot. It was like more, it wasn't a joke. It was really, no, I'm just kidding. No, it was just different. It was different. She gave me a really loving card. I mean, first of all, your cake was amazing. So thank you for that. That was a real gift.
Did you eat both of them?
No, I actually ate one, and there was well, you're gonna laugh at this, but why not? You'll love it too. There was a 19-year-old girl at my office whose birthday was the day after mine, and it was her last day on Monday. So I bought her a cake, one of your cakes. I couldn't eat them both, and and she was so happy about it. And she's so cute. She's going back to school. She was just at an intern summership, but she works at Walgreens on the weekends. Like it was like really, she's adorable and she's really nice. We're keeping in touch, but I didn't want it to go to waste because I don't know how long cake lasts if you keep it out.
Wouldn't it be funny if at that story, like I put this on the stream? Like the timing, right?
Hey, if you suck, you suck. I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are. That's why I don't. Somebody's 19, somebody's 80. I mean, I hang out with my neighbor. She's like 92, and she's terrific. And then there's another one who's like 80, who I fucking hate. And I call her the C word, and she's downstairs in the lobby because she treats
a lot of C words
the guys
today.
Who work here really poorly. So it's a case-by-case basis with everybody.
If we had to name this episode, it's like, if you need to be called a cunt, you got to be called a cunt. So I think
the fact of the matter is I love you guys. Marina, you are one of my best friends.
Well, Evelyn, I know you have a good heart.
Evelyn is my tertiary friend. No, I'm just... Evelyn's such a
Memo
sweetheart.
and I both said
I like
it.
making fun of Evelyn and stuff. I know, but I mean, there's not. It's a fact that Evelyn is a really terrific person, and I like her very much.
Now
I mean,
this
I love
is
her, and I like our banter, and I hope she doesn't take me too serious. And I guess that's, when I got mad at the time we were thinking, I'll always remember it because I don't know. I just wanted to have a good experience like that other girl's having with you. And I don't know, I know it's stupid, but that's old man shit where I'm like, I want you to get into the
Evelyn's
fact,
much
and that kind of
older
stuff.
than Celine.
I
Celine's
know.
twenty.
I just love Evelyn, and I want things to go well for her, and I want
Appreciate
wonderful things to happen for her in her life.
Real quick story. Oh, that is really
That was very
sweet. Wait,
nice.
hold on.
Thank
That
you.
deserves a. So last night, and then we got to get out because I have an early show. Celine was like she's 20 and she was having a great time. But the girl who also Alana, who was there, was so high. And she's just and I've never had her hang out with me as well, but they were both hanging out with me at the same time. And Alana was just like, yeah, enjoy your young youth. She was so like, it was just funny to watch. She goes, you're 20. Okay. You're 20. So enjoy your perky tits. Okay.
Oh my God.
And then Celine comes in. She comes from outside. She comes back inside to the olive tree above the comedy cellar because we're all sitting at the table, at our table. And Celine goes, she offered me weed. I was like, yeah, not everyone knows how to act, I was like, she's going through a tough time. But it was so funny because she was just like, she goes, Marina, she's 20.
That was funny.
Anyway, we gotta get out. I want to thank you all for being here. It's been a roller coaster of emotion today, but we found a way out of it. It's all gonna be a sunshiny day. All right, Evelyn, tell our listeners again where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Evelyn G. Frick on Twitter. I was retweeted by Lizzo yesterday, so that was
my
very
God,
exciting.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't like a joke or anything I'd written or a piece I'd written. It was just because I bought her shapewear online and was like, thanks, Lizzo, and she responded, which was
that's like a huge. How did you not open with that?
Whatever.
Wow, what an honor. One time this girl from the TV show on Disney called Dog with a Blog retweeted something. I was so excited, but she was 16, so it was awkward.
Sure.
Lizzo, that's the real deal.
I know. Yeah. Super exciting. But yeah, so you can find me there and you can find my tweet on Lizzo's Twitter. Yeah. And then my website, which I recently had redone, evelynfrick.com. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
And don't forget to send, did you send your headshot to Celine?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. So she'll work on that. So, and Juskow, where can our listeners find you? Oh no, never mind. You know what? Hey.
No, well, this Tuesday I have the Comedy Cellar show, and then I'm taking a break, and then, we're gonna try and make it. Then it goes to 2 hours, and starting in September. This kind of break. I like this break, and I like to come back in September all excited. This is the best time of the year, especially actually to live in New York City. I mean,
yeah,
it's weird now, but the fall into Christmas. Best time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year, but it's really a great time if you're ever thinking of coming to New York City. It's a wonderful time to come to the city.
Just watch the bike lanes and the potholes. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Please. Marina Franklin here. You guys just go to my website, marinayfranklin.com. But more important, check out the podcast so you can listen to Memo this week. Memo, it's an amazing conversation. It's a one-on-one. When I do a one-on-one conversation with Memo or anyone, it's a really good one because we get to really juice out the nuggets of everything they do. And this one is so important.
It's also nice to hear a guy that works on Sesame Street is a good father.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. That's what you want to hear from people that work on Sesame Street. Meanwhile, he went to the retirement party for the man that played Big Bird, Carol Spinney, and Oscar the Grouch. He went. I mean, how cool is that?
That's awesome. I would
I
have
know,
loved
right?
to have
For
gone
people
to
our
that.
age, I mean, it's like, well, what? He's still alive and he's still doing it and he just
Yeah.
retired?
And yeah, no, it's amazing. So definitely check out Friends Like Us, and don't forget, like, wash your hands, get that extra booster vaccine when it comes out and it's available, so you don't get Omicron or the B52, whatever. Just make sure you get it, all the things. And if you are, monkeypox is a good vaccine to get too. Obviously, I'm seeing the real results of monkeypox. Naked guy walking down the street, just, digging in his ass, So that's what I'm saying. Like, get vaccinated. And Black Lives Matter. Bye, everybody.